Thought power is the greatest of all powers we humans possess. That is why Lord Buddha says, thought is everything. You become what you think. Modern science and psychology both have accepted the miracle-making power of thoughts. However, I would like to draw your attention towards a greater secret of this universe, which says that all the useful things of this life become an obstacle at a certain point, and at such a point it becomes essential to drop them. Otherwise, you cannot reach the destination. For example, you cannot reach the uppermost story of your building without the help of a staircase or elevator as such. But if you continue to stand on the staircase or the elevator, you will never be able to reach the uppermost story of your house. For reaching the uppermost story, you will have to leave the staircase or the elevator. This shows that staircase happens to be a means of taking you to the destination, but it can become an obstacle too if you just continue to stay over there. Likewise, for crossing the deep waters of a river, you have to ride a boat, but you cannot reach across the river if you continue riding the boat. For reaching across the river, you will have to leave the boat also. In this way, all the resources of this life are to be caught at one point and are to be quit at another point. I have heard a story about two monks. One monk always criticized money and wealth, and he used to say that money is the root cause of all the troubles, so he did not like even to touch the money with his own hands. The other monk had entirely a different view. He used to say that money is very essential for being able to live in this world, because it is impossible to live without money. So both of them used to argue and fight over the issue of money. However, they could never settle the issue for many years up till now. Once it so happened that they were on a trip, on a pilgrimage. They had to pass through a small river. Usually they used to cross that river walking on foot, because there used to be hardly any waters or a little water. But this time the river was over flooded because of rains. It became impossible to cross the river without the help of a boat. Now the other monk, who had money in his pocket, felt excited. Both of them went to the boat. They hired the boat. The monk who had money paid for both of them, and they crossed the river. After reaching across the river, the monk said, "See the importance of money. If we had no money, it would have been impossible to cross the river." But the other monk said, "You are a fool, a big fool. You could not cross the river because you had the money. You could cross the river simply because you could leave the money. It was not having the money, but leaving the money that worked. So never forget that only by leaving the money you could cross the river. Always remember, money is the root cause of all the troubles. So never have it. So never be mad after it." The other monk was surprised to listen to him. You might have also become confused. You might also be thinking that the monk was right when he said that it was not having the money but leaving the money that enabled them to cross the river. Well, but I would like to tell you that leaving the money was possible only when you are having the money. You are required to have the money first to be able to leave the money subsequently. The same is true about the power of thoughts. First learn to use it and then also learn to be able to drop it. Learn to use it by application of the science of thought power and learn to drop it by application of the science of thoughtlessness. It means thoughts are a great tool, a powerful tool for achieving all that you want in life. But for this, you must be able to use them when they are needed, and you must be able to drop them when they are not needed. Another significant point worth noting is that you may think that working laboriously for 16 hours is highly essential for achieving extraordinary success in life. But I want to tell you that working 16 hours laboriously is possible only after you have enjoyed a sound sleep for 8 hours. Therefore, application of thought power for extraordinary performance is feasible only after you have learned the art of relaxation at least for half an hour every day through the application of the science of thoughtlessness or meditation. Thirdly, our mind is just like a biocomputer. However, it is different from an electronic computer. Electronic computer can be switched off any time whenever it is not needed to be used. But our biocomputer brain has been functioning since the time we were born, and it is continuously working. That is the root cause of all the troubles of our life, of all the ailments of our life, of all the tensions and turmoils of our life. We don't know how to switch it off. The sages and seers of India devised very powerful techniques for switching off the working of our brain, and the same technique became known as meditation, that can take you to the state of thoughtlessness. And it is that state in which you are in a state of total relaxation. Being in such a state leads to the rejuvenation of your mind, and a new lease of life is attained. By practicing the science of thoughtlessness, you can be in this state for as long as you need. Therefore, the medicine of meditation is mandatory for every individual on this earth. Fourthly, by being in a state of thoughtlessness, you can easily stop the wastage of life energy, and the same energy can be accumulated, which ultimately proves useful in transforming our dreams and desires into reality. The whole universe is filled with thoughts and things. Things are the material part, the physical part of thoughts, and thoughts are the spiritual part, the subtlest forms of things. It means through thoughts you are continuously throwing energy that is creating something for you and for others too. Because of this fact, many miracles start happening in our life. If some person starts thinking about the welfare of some other person continuously, then that thing is bound to happen, because through thoughts he is constantly releasing energy in the favor of that person. And that is why blessings of a person who has attained no thought always prove true, because a person who does not use his thought power, because a person who does not waste his thought power accumulates great energy of thoughts, and that is what transforms his dreams and desires into reality. The fifth point is even more important. Being in a state of thoughtlessness can be a very powerful device for the growth of immense intelligence in you. Another dimension is also very significant. Being in a state of thoughtlessness may become a source of the growth of immense intelligence within you. Generally, the growth of intelligence stops at the age of 14 because by that time the biological growth of the child is complete. Biology is no more interested because the person is capable to recreate, as now he is able to give birth, and this much of intelligence is enough for fulfilling the general requirements of the individual. However, if one continues to meditate deeply and happens to attain the state of no mind, then one becomes capable of having great intelligence in his life. For example, the intelligence of great meditators like Buddha cannot be counted, cannot be measured, as their intelligence is immeasurable, infinite. The great Western poet Emerson is reported to have said about his age that his age was 360 years. When the journalist asked that he looked not more than 60 years, Emerson rightly retorted by saying that from one angle he was only 60 years old, but from another angle, as regards his intelligence, his age was 360 years, because whatever he had done in his life was the work that could have been done at least by 6 persons, or that could have been done in 360 years. In this way, the intelligence of a true meditator continues growing, and it can continue to grow even after death, because truly speaking, the death of the consciousness never happens. At the same time, I would also like to point out that being in a state of thoughtlessness is the only powerful source for elimination of negativity from the subconscious mind of the individuals. A number of steps and strategies are being followed by people for being free of the negativity which has engulfed the whole society. But my experience says that the only way to eliminate negativity is only by being in a state of thoughtlessness through meditation. And it is only after elimination of negativity that one can be able to apply the principles of thought power to the optimum, and it is the only way through one can achieve all that one wants to achieve in life.